I am very excited for this fall. I do think that we're going to have, I'm actually, I don't know, maybe I'm cautiously optimistic, but I think that this is going to be a really good end of the year and beginning of the year from a unit perspective. I know that that might seem crazy to some of you. I don't know. I'm feeling good about the market, and I think that we're going to trend in a good direction here. What I did in terms of putting this together is actually bring out two of my closest friends, Juan and Cyrus, but I'll also say that they are two of the best in terms of systems and just thought leaders in real estate. Some of you guys have had the opportunity, they've both been here before. Juan was on a panel, I believe, the last time, and Cyrus, we did an interview. We're going to revisit that interview, hopefully give you guys a lot of things to think about in your business. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to do a session on little things that you can do on a daily basis to help build yourself over time. I'm going to jump right into it for the sake of time. I'm going to invite Juan up. Juan, to give him a little intro, he's probably the best I know in the business at systems. And that is a bold statement to say. The reality is like when you think about building systems in real estate, this is somebody who sold hundreds of millions of dollars worth of real estate before the age of 30. He went out and built Gold Bar, which is 20,000 members?
15.
50,000?
15. 1-5.
1-5, I'm sorry, 15,000 members. I thought you were giving yourself a bump. 15,000 members, it's a coaching platform. And more recently, and this is one of the reasons why I invited him to come today, among many reasons, is so many of you will find yourself in a position where you want to grow and you want to scale, but you're struggling with it because you just have so much on your plate. And I can tell you firsthand that I relate to that. I relate to that so much that I've been trying to figure it out for years on how to get myself to that next level, knowing that I'm just spreading in a million different directions. And so I've been going, for probably 2-3 years now, realizing that I needed something to fix it, but not necessarily knowing what the answer is. And I've spoken to all of you guys here about hiring a VA and doing all of that. And I was kind of in search of that myself. More recently, I actually went to Juan, who is the master of systems, and said, hey, listen, you run a staffing company for VAs. And I've spoken about you guys, to all of you about this before, but I hadn't experienced it myself. So I actually hired Juan and I said, listen, I need an absolutely awesome executive assistant. And not only do I need a great executive assistant, but I need a great executive assistant that is trained by you because I don't have time. And I want you to walk me through that process, hand in hand, to try to make sure that we set up all the SOPs necessary to make sure that she does what I need in a timely fashion. And I have to be honest with you, I am in love with the assistant that I have. She's been so incredible that it's just, I'm still early in the process, full disclosure, but what I'm realizing is so many of the things that I wish to do that I wasn't able to accomplish, I'm really seeing and visualizing now because I have the right support. So I'm going to turn it over to Juan. I do appreciate you coming here, and without further ado, Juan Carlos.
Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Clap once if you could hear me. Clap twice if you could hear me. Stand up. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's just get this thing set up. Good to go? Everyone can see the screens? Awesome. So for today, for the sake of time, this presentation is normally about 3 hours long. I reserve it for my bootcamp members, and we do little private masterminds. But Michael told me I only have 45 minutes. So I'm going to speak at New York speed. I'm going to go out of my way to give you guys as much value as possible in a short period of time. But I want to make it interactive. So a couple of rules. If everyone here has a piece of paper, please take it out. If you don't have a piece of paper because it's 2025, take out your phone. Okay, I'm going to have you guys take notes. I'm going to have you guys do some little exercises. I want you guys to walk away with something you could actually apply into your business. That being said, welcome to From Agent to CEO, a practical guide to escaping the 9-to-5 real estate grind. Has anyone here ever felt like they're just on this endless real estate grind, 24/7, missed calls, clients are angry, I need to go get more leads, I have to show a house, open house on Sunday, all these things? That's what this is about, okay? So this training is going to show you how top real estate professionals scale faster, reclaim their time, and consistently make over $1 million per year without burning out. I wanted to create something to kind of hit that milestone of $1 million a year because for a lot of agents, that's why they get into this business. So we went out of our way to document that exact process. My goal is to show you that there's a smarter way to grow your real estate business, one that allows you to earn more, work less, and spend more time doing what you love with the people who matter most. Go ahead and shout if you think that's a pretty cool thing. I guess not that many people. You guys don't want a card over here, right? Come on, isn't that the goal? That's why we got into this, right? So, disclaimer number one, this isn't for everyone. This is for real estate professionals who are tired of the following: their business running them instead of them running their business, okay? I know we've all been there. Working 24/7, but stuck at the same level year after year, meaning if you're doing 150K in GCI for the last 7 years in a row, there's an issue. There should be growth coming year after year. If you feel overworked, overstressed, and underpaid, never hitting the income or lifestyle goals that you envisioned, or just trapped in the endless cycle of closing deals, only to wake up on January 1st to have to start all over again. Has anyone ever felt that they could relate to this? I've been there. We've all been there, okay? Disclaimer number two, this really isn't for everyone, okay? This is for real estate professionals who value both income and freedom. I'm looking for the people who want to prefer owning a business versus going out of their way to have a job. I'm looking for people that want to work smarter, not harder. And I'm looking for agents that want to delegate versus do everything alone. Is there anyone here that is kind of against delegating? Do we have any control freaks in the room? I'm a big control freak. Come on, we can admit it. Vulnerability, right? That's the thing. If you guys ever read these two books, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss or Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, you're going to love these. I highly recommend everyone go out there and pick up a copy. They do not pay me to say this, but these books have changed my life when it comes to just envisioning the way that I do business moving forward, okay? And by the way, I already see everyone taking notes. So instead of taking notes or photos, I'm gonna provide you with the entire recording, okay? Start to finish. I just need you guys to open up your phone. We're gonna take 10 quick seconds. If you have an iPhone, go to the Apple Store. If you have a Android phone or whatever those machines are, go into the Android store. Download the Gold Bar Real Estate app. It's gonna look something like this, okay? All of my stuff is in there. It's all free. There's no catch, but go ahead and download the app, and then that'll allow you to get the entire recording later today.
Brain machine.
And someone shout once we have the first download. I'm just gonna wait 10 minutes. All right. Oh, we can't connect. We gotta get everyone Wi-Fi. All right, I'll give you guys an alternative, okay? Take down your notes, okay? You're gonna email my assistant. His name is Sebastian, okay? And you can just say, Sebastian, send me the recording, or you can just download the app. His email is Sebastian, Sebastian, at goldbarstaffing.com. All right? Everyone got that? We good to go? No? Why not? Sebastian at goldbarstaffing.com, or download the app if you guys want to.
I will literally send these slides to everybody.
There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get going. I'm going to give you guys my background so you know a little bit about me. I went from pre-med into a complete real estate entrepreneur. I wanted to be a doctor when I was younger. I went out of my way to study in college. I went through the whole biology courses, organic chemistry, the whole 9 yards. And then one night, my junior year, I have a midlife crisis, and I say to myself, I don't know if I can see myself being a doctor 10 years from now. I wanted to go on my way to build financial freedom. I wanted to go away and retire my parents. I wanted to do something that actually allowed me to live the life that I wanted to live. So I got my real estate license. Great idea, Juan, right? From there, I joined KW. KW to me was kind of like the launch platform to go out there and do what I wanted to do. Anywhere, as you guys know, is obviously better, right? But the whole entire process for me was I wanted to learn. So I hired the #1 president of the entire company who was doing the coaching at the time and say, hey, can you go out of your way to coach me? I need someone to teach me the process. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. And he did. Turns out him and his mother wrote the book Bold, and they actually created the entire Keller Williams training platform, and I had a really good mentor walk me through the entire step-for-step process of actually building a business. eXp Realty comes to town. Boo, eXp, right? No, they come to town in 2018 in New York City. I'm the third agent to sign up. From there, I continue building out my team. I ended up closing about $250 million worth of real estate before the age of 30. I was completely scaled out of production by the age of 28, meaning I had listing agents, buyer agents, transaction coordinators, executive assistants running my entire business for me. And then in 2023, I actually went out of my way to sell over 100 million, completely virtual, working from home. So if I am someone who comes from a biology background, my mother's a dentist, my father's in HR, I have no understanding of the entire real estate business, and I could build a business that allows me to basically run for me without me doing anything, I'm sure everyone here has the capability, the tools as well, all right? From there, I founded Gold Bar in 2022. I wanted to teach other about systems. That was my secret sauce. I saw so many coaches teaching agents how to get more listings and how to go out there and work harder and how to scale, but no one was actually talking to them about systems, about staffing, about doing the things that my coach taught me, which allowed me to kind of get out of this entire rat race early. And now I'm just a real estate system and staffing expert. I have a couple of clients in a room. I just met Marina Gillian for the first time. I have Aaron here, Cliff signing up, all of that stuff. I specialize in staffing you with executive assistants, but I also specialize in helping you build systems to grow, okay? Everything I'm about to share with you is basically based on my personal experience, from becoming an NAR 30 to 30, to selling 100 million in 2023, to throwing some of the most national, biggest conference and events with some of the biggest speakers. I've interviewed all these people. I understand their secrets. I understand what they've done to get to this point. I'm gonna share that all back with you. And once again, my entire specialty is based around systems and staffing. I understand you can't do everything yourself. Your goal is to be a business owner, not just be an employee in your own job. I specialize in helping you build infrastructure. And I have a lot of testimonials for people that I've helped when it comes to increasing their business as well. All right, so let me tell you why I created this training. After spending 1,000 hours coaching real estate agents over the last 3 years on scaling their business and personally interviewing the top CEOs and agents in the real estate industry, I think I finally cracked the code on what separates the top 1% from the bottom 99%. Can anyone take a wild guess what that is? Systems, that's a good one. Anyone else? CRM? Shout it out, come on.
Leverage. It's leverage.
It's consistency. I like the consistency. All right. Well, let me tell you, it's actually a little bit something different. All right. Most realtors are stuck in what I call the rat race. Has anyone ever seen kind of like this little hamster wheel of someone running around and it kind of keeps going all over again? I basically discovered that there's a real estate rat race cycle that's very specific to realtors. And the way it goes is like this. We all want business. So we go out there and we lead generate. How do we lead generate? We cold call, we door knock, we network, we mail, we do what we have to do. We've heard it a million times. From there, we get clients. Voila, the thing actually works. If you actually prospect, you actually go out there and get business. But the issue starts here. Once you get clients, you have to stop doing what made you money in order to go out there and service those clients. It's this constant recurring wheel. So what ends up happening is you stop going out of your way to prospect, which is the thing that got you the business, and now you're stuck servicing them. You're doing things from transaction management to paperwork to showings to inspections, appraisals of vendors, all the whole nine thing. From there, you get paid, so you're happy. But there's just one issue. By then, your entire pipeline has dried up, and you realize you have to go out there and start prospecting again. And then the entire cycle starts all over again. Has anyone ever been there? That was my first 2 years in the business. And it was a complete nightmare, 60, 80-hour weeks. I just went through this process over again, and I said there has to be a better way. Top agents, on the other hand, they run their businesses like CEO. Does anyone know who Aaron Kerman is? Aaron Kerman is the #1 agent in LA. He represents billionaires. And what I could tell you is Aaron Kerman does not go out of his way to focus on paperwork. He does not focus on emails. He is not doing his flyers. He runs his business like a true CEO, and he delegates to other people to do these things for them. Does anyone know who Dina Golden-Taylor is? All right, you can follow her on Instagram, Golden Dina. She's the #1 agent in Miami. And when I tell you that she has an assistant for her assistant, she specializes in one thing, going out there and getting listings. Everything else goes to her team. And the final one, has anyone heard of Frederick Uckland from $1 Million Listing? That one you've known, right? Turns out he's the #1 team leader in the entire country. I think he sold, I don't know how many billions last year. But what I could tell you is Frederick spends the majority of his time working with developers. He spends the majority of his time building relationships with people that are going to give him access to all these condo buildings. And he spends the majority of his time on listing appointments. So we all know what we have to be doing. The issue is we're spending so much time doing everything else. Okay? Top agents have a CEO mindset. #1, they know their worth. They calculate their true hourly rate and refuse to waste time on $20 an hour tasks. Think to yourself, how many tasks am I doing every single day that are not the best use of my time? #2, they protect their time. Once they know what their worth is, they focus on activities that grow the business and stay in their genius zone. The genius zone is things that are the best use of your time. And then from there, they master delegation. Anything that isn't the best use of their time gets documented, delegated, or eliminated. Okay? So those are the 3 frameworks we're going to cover today. I want to make sure you guys really understand this process. I'm sure everyone goes into tons of strategies on these things when it comes to lead generation and social media and YouTube, and all that stuff works. But the issue is we're not focusing on building the foundation. We're not focusing on building an infrastructure that will actually allow you guys to retire one day, okay? The top 1% spend 90% of their time on income-producing activities versus the bottom 99% spend it in drowning in admin work, emails, and follow-ups. The top 1% are constantly delegating low-value tasks to assistants, while the 99% are constantly putting out fires and reacting to notifications. And for the top 1%, if you see them, they're always smiling. They're like glowing all the time. They're just always like so happy on social media and they're just full of energy. Well, it turns out it's because every day feels productive and they don't feel guilty taking time off. They actually have flexibility in their work-life balance, whereas everyone else is kind of just stuck at their current volume, burning out before we scale. All right? So we're going to cover 3 things. First thing is going to be calculating your worth. I want everyone to know their true hourly rate by the end of today. How to maximize your time. So how we're going to do a little time management exercise so you guys understand how to organize it the best correctly. And then we're going to learn how to master delegation, which is a simple system to go out of your way to actually continue doing what you do best while outsourcing the rest. The older reality is you're working 60 hours a week. You are reactive and overwhelmed. You're constantly putting out fires. You're working on going out of your way to scale your business, but you hit this plateau and you just can't break through. The new reality is, well, you have leverage and clarity, you have systems built around you, you have 30 hours a week or even a month back, and you operate as a CEO, not an operator. Okay? Sound good, everyone? Is there anyone this doesn't apply to? Good? Cool. All right, so let's cover calculating your worth. I want everyone to go ahead and take out their phone or a piece of paper, and I just want you to write down what your gross income was last year. All right? And if you don't know what your gross income was, it's just that number you gave to your accountant in terms of all the money you made on your tax return. If you have a secondary job, maybe this isn't your full-time career, I want you to include that number as well. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a couple of examples. If you made $50,000 last year, okay, I want you to write that number down. And then I want you to take that number and divide it by 2,000. Why 2,000? It's actually the number of hours a typical employee works throughout the calendar year, not excluding 2 weeks for holiday pay. All right? So I'm just going to go around. Does anyone want to go ahead and voluntarily share their hourly rate? We keep it a secret if you want to. Anyone want to shout it out? No one? 72 $72 an hour. I love it. Okay. Anyone else? 125 an hour. Okay. I like that. Michael, you want to share yours?
No.
Okay. So this is step number 1. Okay, and we can't go out of our way to go anything else from here if we don't know this number, okay? From there, I want you to think of every single thing you're doing that's worth less than $72 an hour, $125 an hour, $25 an hour, even $15 an hour, whatever it may be. But you have to imagine everything from admin to personal to marketing to sales that you're currently doing, that you're spending $50, $100, $200, $300 an hour on, but it's not the best value for your time. Okay, so you can go ahead and take a picture of this, but Michael came to me and Michael is doing a lot of the personal. So that's what we're outsourcing on his assistant. We're getting rid of all the personal, all the emails, all the calendar. When you get rid of that, you have something called freedom. And when you have freedom, you can invest that time into listings, into building partnerships, into the things that actually make you money. Okay, from there, if you actually calculate what your hourly rate is worth, then you can calculate how much money you're losing by not delegating, okay? I did a quick little sample at $100 an hour. If you're going out of your way to not delegate 35 hours a week of all these little tiny activities, what you're losing is close to $10,000 a month, okay? So I want everyone to really ingrain this, and then the more you kind of understand this entire process, the more you realize, crap, I am losing money by continuing to hold everything onto my plate, all right? So number 2, we're gonna talk about protecting your hourly rate by focusing tasks on your genius zone. Does anyone know what a genius zone is? Your specialty? That's good. Anyone else? Your genius zone is your highest and best use. It's the one activity that if you focus on will make you more money than anything else. Can anyone just shout out a random genius zone activity?
Listing appointments.
Listing appointments. Anyone else? Listing appointments. I love that. Anyone else? Listing appointments. Great one. Anyone have any other genius zone activities? It's very simple, but if you look at the top agents in our entire country, they're going on 2 to 3 listing appointments a day. Everyone here is saying I'm struggling for business. It's just going on more listing appointments. But I don't have enough listing appointments because we haven't spent enough time building the machine that generates those appointments. Why haven't we built enough time building the machine? Because we're spending all our time on emails and TikTok, okay? So I just want you guys to just have this clarity. This isn't rocket science, but when you actually write this down, it'll all make sense. So I came up with a cool little organizational chart. It's called the Goldie Zones. And each letter of Goldie stands for an acronym. G stands for Genius Zone. So we're going to put all of our things that are the highest and best use of our time, like listing appointments. O is going to be anything for offloading. Okay, so anything that isn't the best use of our time, there's gonna be a 3-step process. We're gonna offload it, we're gonna load it and build out a system for it, and then D, we're gonna delegate it. When we do this process consistently, it actually becomes very simple to let go of things and hand it off to other people. And the last one is your waste zone. It's anything that we shouldn't be delegating and we shouldn't be doing ourselves. It's a complete waste of time. Can anyone think of anything that should go in the waste zone? TikTok, yes. Anyone else? Netflix, yes. Anything else? What's something that we do is a complete waste? Writing an offer, I would want to delegate that. I wouldn't want to remove that from our business. It's necessary for us to get paid. Definitely something we want to offer. Okay? So exercise number 2, I want everyone to write down 3 tasks that impact their income more than anything else. I'll give you the first one, listing appointments, okay? Can anyone go ahead and shout out 2 more? Showings, following up, relationships. I recommend relationships big for everyone, okay? If you guys want a big hack, relationships with business owners, okay? Business owners have spent a decade in your local market building relationships with every other homeowner. And if you build relationships with them, you're hacking their entire database. It's how I built up my entire system. It's how it's accounted for more than 50% of all my business. It's building relationships with business owners, okay? Anyone else? Referrals. How do you get referrals? Past clients. So following up with past clients, nurturing past clients. My favorite is sending them a gift, okay? If you just send them a gift once per quarter, even if it's something for 10 or 15 bucks, they're gonna remember you and it'll be the best 15 bucks you ever spent. It leads to a massive amount of referrals, okay? Does everyone have their 3 things? No, is everyone asleep? Good? Or we still need more time? Okay, I want you to screenshot those 3 things and then say, I'm going to focus on moving forward, just trying to primarily do this at any given cost. I'm gonna do my best to outsource the rest, okay? I want you to have that mindset moving forward. From there, here's what the entire thing looks like when we actually organize it, okay? We have the Genius Zone where I put building relationships with real estate partners that include business owners, mortgage lenders, title companies, people that are gonna feed me. Number 2, it's lead generation and strategy calls. How can I go ahead and identify anyone that wants to list with me? And then number 3, it's attending listing appointments. If you look at the rest of it, you may not have everything already delegated, but you may want to start offloading things. You may want to start building out systems for things. But it's a very simple process. Before we delegate anything, we need to document it, put it into the offloading zone. Then we need to go ahead and build an SOP, and then we can finally delegate it. And then we put the TikTok and the watching Netflix at the bottom. All right? And let's get into number 3, mastering delegation. This is where it kind of gets fun. Implementing a simple system to remove, outsource, or delegate everything else below that rate. Here's your 3-step path to freedom, okay? This is how corporations delegate. This is how top entrepreneurs delegate. This is how the top producers in our market delegate, okay? Number 1 is to identify, okay? Identifying every low-value task that is worth less than $72 an hour. Identifying every low-value task that's worth less than $125 an hour. Identifying every low-value task that's worth less than $1,500. Did I say something? But I want you guys to really identify what is it that I'm doing every single day that's taking time away from my Genius Zone, okay? Number 2, once we identify all those tasks, we're gonna systemize them. I don't even know if that's a word, but I came up with it, okay? Here's what systemizing means. We're gonna write it down, okay? We're gonna document it into a checklist, and we're gonna record a video of how to do it, okay? Systems don't have to be complex, they don't have to be hard. Everyone here has a system. Everyone here has a system for brushing your teeth. From the way you take out your toothbrush, to the way that you go ahead and put on the toothpaste, to the way that you do the circular motion. If you were to record yourself brushing your teeth and an alien were to come down from Mars and say, what's brushing my teeth like? And you give them an SOP of it, I'm pretty sure they could figure it out. That's how systems work. Once you document it just the way you like doing things, and once you record it, you can hand that task off to any human being as long as you go ahead and put them through the SOP. All right? And then the last thing is delegate. Once we identify that standard operating procedure, that actual checklist, document, and recording, and we identify someone that wants to actually take it off our plate for us, we now train the assistant on doing that process over. We start with emails, then we go into calendar, then we go into managing our schedule, then we go into handling our calls, and at some point you get to the point where I'm at, where Sebastian literally runs my life. He does my team meetings, he handles my emails, he handles my events. He could basically do almost anything for me. I made him an extension of me. That's my goal for all of you guys within the next 12 months. I'm not saying this has to happen tomorrow. Doesn't even have to happen next quarter. but I want you to start having that little mindset. I'm just planting the seed that if everyone starts building systems today, if you start documenting what you're actually doing, you do it in your exact style so that you don't feel someone's going to do it differently than you. And you actually build up an entire library of these systems in the future when you go ahead and you make $10,000 on your next commission check, or you make $15,000, instead of spending it at Target or Starbucks, which is what I do, right? We go ahead and invest it into an assistant. And once you get your first assistant and you show them your entire SOP library and they go out there and they take things off your plate, it becomes addictive. I currently have 15 full-time staff members. And you may be thinking that's a lot of responsibility and I don't know if I want that and all that stuff. I literally feel like I'm working less now than I was 3 years ago when I had 6 staff members. As your operation grows, your executive assistant manages the entire thing for you if done correctly. And if you document it correctly, you could go out of your way to scale efficiently. No one here needs 15 assistants. No one here needs even 15 staff members. The only people you need is you need 2 people. You need 1 really good executive assistant and you need 1 really good showing agent. With those 2 people and you focusing on listing appointments, every single person here can make $1 million a year, net $750,000 in profit margins, and go out of your way to work 20 or 30 hours a week. All right? Can I get an amen for that? That's the goal, right? So, final thing, this is the framework the top 1% of agents use to buy back 30 hours a week. A lot of these top producers go out of their way to just hire people for $100,000, $150,000 a year to just do this entire process for them. I'm giving you guys the blueprint so that you guys could go out there and hire someone for a lot more of an affordable rate, or you guys can use our staffing company and we'll hire someone for you for $18K a year. It really depends on what you guys want to do, okay? So exercise number 3, offload zone tasks. I want you to write down 5 tasks that are worth less than your hourly rate and take time away from high value income producing activities. So we have our 3 main tasks. This is where you're going to focus on. And I want you to think of 5 things that you're doing right now that are a complete waste of time. And go ahead, someone can shout it out when they have one.
Scheduling showings.
Scheduling showings, what a waste of time. Oh my goodness. I'm not exactly, no, I'm literally like, I didn't make it a funny thing, but like, it's such a waste of time. Just think about it this way. You get a new client, you have to go out of your way to go on the MLS, you have to research every single property to see if it's available, you call up every listing agent, those damn agents never pick up the phone, you follow up with them again, you chase them down, they finally tell you it's not available, you have to go back to your client, tell them it's not available, they send you another list, you repeat this process over and over again, then you finally get the 3 or 4 showings, you have to cancel them, you have to reschedule them, just think about it. It's madness. Why would you ever do that? It can be so easily outsourced. It's the simplest SOP in the world. I'll give it to all you guys, okay? But that is a really good one, okay? Anyone else have another one?
Emails.
Emails. Who here still manages their own emails? Oh, we have a bunch of liars in the room. Come on, who manages their emails? Who checked their email today, sent that okay. Listen, when it comes to emails, I'm not a big fan of just delegating your emails out to someone and they just do everything for you. But I am a big fan of delegating your emails out to someone and them organizing it for you, getting rid of all the spam, them replying back to the people that they can reply to, and then just leaving you 2 or 3 emails a day that are top priority just for you. Okay? I'm not telling you to outsource your entire life. I'm not telling you to outsource you communicating with clients. I want you to focus spending more time working on clients and hiring someone to take all the other little minutia off your plate. And if you're literally going through 30, 40, 50, 100, 200 emails a day, I've seen some of yours' inboxes, oh my goodness, like 10, 15,000 emails. That's madness. It's a complete waste of time. So email would be at the top of my thing. Can we get one more? Putting listings on the MLS. Oh my goodness, those job descriptions, and we could go out of our way to get into the photos and upload the documents. Complete waste of time. All right, so once again, I'm trying to have you do this exercise because once we go ahead and create this, once we have a list of what we're doing, we've audited our lives and realized these are all $5, $10, $15 an hour tasks, we can create a system for that. And once we have that system, it's as simple as just telling someone, here's the system, follow it, do it for me. That's called leverage. And I don't know why people make systems so complicated, but that's really all it is, okay? From there, here's what I recommend. You do a time audit. The way the time audit works is everyone here has a phone. I want you to set an alarm on that phone and go off every 30 minutes. Not now, but maybe sometime next week, okay? And for 3 or 4 days, go ahead and have this alarm go off. And as soon as the alarm goes off, you go into a Google spreadsheet and you literally just write down what you're doing. Okay? So 8 o'clock, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you take a shower, you would write that down at 8:30. Okay? Once 9 o'clock hits, you made breakfast, you took the kids to school, whatever, you would write that down. And you do this over and over and over again from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And what you start to realize is patterns. You have these things called habits. They're things that you do every single day over and over again. And once you do that thing over and over again, guess what? That's a system. You just never documented it. Okay? There's just another issue. You are the system. Instead of someone else doing that thing, you're doing that thing for you. Okay? So when you realize that you're doing these schedulings for these showings, you're importing stuff into the MLS, you're going out of your way to manage your own emails, we can now document that. We can identify that it's something we have to outsource. We create an SOP for it, and then we find someone to do it for us. And voila, it's gone. We never have to do it again. Okay? Wouldn't that be nice? Never have to check your emails ever again. So exercise number 4, we're going to build an SOP. Okay? Has anyone here ever built an SOP? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, a good amount. Okay, cool. Has anyone here ever built out an entire SOP library?
Hey, what's an SOP?
An SOP stands for a standard operating procedure. Okay? So just think of it this way. A system is a process, right? It's the way that you do something over and over and over again. The SOP is the document that outlines that process. Okay? And when you outline that process correctly and you attach a recording to it on how to do it, you can delegate it very easily. All right? So I want everyone to go ahead and whatever you guys just wrote down for your 5 tasks you want to outsource, just pick one of them. We're going to build out an SOP for it really quickly. I'm not going to have you do the entire thing, but we'll kind of get you started on it. Number 1, I want you to pick a task. Can anyone give me a task they want to build out an SOP for? Listing input. I think that's great. So we're going to call that task with a title. We're going to put that listing input MLS SOP. Okay? So we have a title for it. From there, we have to write a description. Can anyone give me a quick little description?
Inputting MLS listing.
Okay, inputting listings on the MLS. Simple as that. Okay? Do you have a specific type of MLS?
One key.
One key MLS. Everyone here have one key MLS? You guys see what just happened? He made his SOP very, very specific to him. But the issue is he didn't tell me what MLS he was. You guys may have a different type of SOP. Every SOP is unique to you. All right? So when you go ahead and put a description in there, you want to be very specific. Inputting listings on the MLS, including their photo and their description, outlining every single detail about the property directly from the listing agreement, and making sure it goes into the one key MLS. Imagine you hired a random intern out of college. They're 18 years old. They have no idea what to do. They read this SOP. Are you giving them enough information to go out there and do that? If you aren't, they're going to be lost. And that's where this entire system breaks down. But if you're extremely detailed, down to the letter in terms of how you like things on the MLS and the angle of the photos and the description of the photos and all of that stuff, someone could copy it very efficiently. All right? So we're up to step 4, writing a checklist. Okay? Can anyone go ahead and give me step number 1 for going out of your way to input something on the MLS? Log in. Perfect. Step 1, log into the MLS. Here is the URL. Here is the login for the username, and here is the password. And step 2, you're going to go out of your way to click that little button that says upload listing. Step 3, upload the photo. Step 4, upload the description. Step 5, do it this way. Here's a link, whatever the entire thing. I'm not going to go into the entire thing live, but you guys get the point, okay? You want a very specific checklist for that entire process. And the last thing is you want to record yourself doing the task, okay? So I'll record myself on Loom, on my MacBook, on Zoom, whatever it is, of me just explaining, going through the entire process of uploading a listing. You guys have done it 1,000 times. And once you record that video and you add it to this SOP with all the other descriptions, guess what you guys have? Can anyone shout it out? A system and an SOP. Yes. And now you have 2 options. You could keep doing that system, which you guys all know is not the best use of your time, or you could fight like hell to do whatever it takes to outsource it as soon as possible. And that is what my coach told me back in 2016. Juan, if you go out of your way to identify everything that's necessary to your time, and as soon as you get your commission checks, instead of spending them on cars, or instead of spending them at the club, or instead of spending them going on vacations, but you invest them into leverage, you will get out of this faster than anyone I know. That's exactly what I did. I got out in 4 years, okay? So that's the big mindset shift for today. I still have a little bit more to get into, but is this good stuff? Like, I just want to make sure you guys are kind of like with me. Say yes if you like this. Yes, there we go, cool. All right, so I'm going to show you a sample SOP, okay? Who here likes calling expired listings? Got 2, 3, 4 people. How do you guys get business around here, right? There's a lot of expired listings. Okay. I'm just going to give you a little sample SOP. This is for an expired cold call script, part 1, right? And the reason we broke it down into 2 parts is it's a very long process. One is the actual process to reach out to them. The other process is to nurture them and actually convert them. So we did a part 1, part 2. From there, we could assign the SOP. We can assign that SOP to any single person on my team, okay? Who's that SOP for? Is it for Aaron, my buyer agent? Is it going to be for Laura, my finance manager? Is it going to be for Sebastian, my executive assistant? Is it going to be Jason for my ops guy? Who's actually performing it? From there, what's the category? This is sales, okay? I usually like 4 categories for SOPs: admin, marketing, sales, and personal, all right? And then from there, what is the value? Is this low value? Meaning that, honestly, it's like one of those things that we want to hand off as fast as possible because it's super easy to replicate. Is it medium value? Meaning it's important, but it will require a little bit of training. Or is it high value? Meaning it's something that I should be doing myself, okay? From there, we're going to put a summary. Part 1 of the expired cold calling script covers preparation, identifying seller frustrations, and executing a natural report-driven opening. Expired listings represent a major opportunity because homeowners still want to sell, but are often discouraged by their previous experience. Agents must approach these calls with empathy, curiosity, and problem-solving mindset. The opening script leverages the interested buyer. You guys can see how detailed I made that, right? If this was a random person straight out of college, they had no idea what real estate was or expires were, they would have a good understanding of what this is. From there is a training video. I make the training videos short, brief, to the point, ideally less than 10 minutes. You don't want to go ahead and make an entire course out of this. You just want to give them a really good digestible video of saying, okay, I can go out there and replicate this myself. And then from there, we have the entire SOP. We always start with the objective, okay? For here, it's to connect with homeowners of expired listings, identify their frustrations with previous agents, and position yourself as a trusted problem solver who can help them successfully sell their property. From there, we have the scope. What's the scope of the SOP, okay? What are the responsibilities? And then we have the procedure, the checklist, okay? I actually did this a lot when I was researching at Stony Brook University. I wanted to be a doctor. I would build out these entire scientific papers. This is how you actually do it, okay? Does this give you guys a good understanding of what an actual live SOP looks like? Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. How much time I have? I think I went over a little bit. That's cool. So we all have 24 hours in a day, all right? The highest earning real estate professionals spend their time in their genius zone. The genius zone is high value money-making activities. Can anyone shout out your number 1 high value money-making activity? Listings. Listings. We all know that. And I'm not going to go ahead and run an entire class on how to get more listings. You guys all know how to get more listings. If anyone here has gotten 1 listing, 2 listings, 3 listings, or 4 listings, it's the same process over and over again. Speak to more homeowners, stay in touch with them, and eventually they want to sell. If you nurture them, you stay top of mind, they will call you. That's called a referral. If you do this with other agents, agents will refer you business when people know where you're from. That is the entire process. You need to do more of it. And if we do more of it, you get a lot more listings. The issue is we can't do more because we're doing everything else, okay? So from there, you could cut grass with scissors, and it will take all day. Or, does anyone cut their grass like this? Whatever, I got this. Or you could hire someone and have someone do it for you, okay? And I know you guys are all about, yeah, but I could mow my grass, and I could go out there on the John Deere and like kind of like mowing your entire grass all day long. Yeah, that's a better way to do things, right? It's a better way to cut grass. But what if you shouldn't be cutting grass at all? Have you thought about that? There's so many people selling you CRMs and tools and automations and workflows and all these crazy gadgets and gizmos. And I think those things are really good for doing things faster. But guess who I give all that stuff to?
Yeah.
My assistant. Exactly. My assistant does all of that stuff. I train him on all the AI tools. I train him on all the other things. But I don't care how much of a horsepower this John Deere lawnmower has. Could cut grass at 1,000 blades a second. I'm not going to go out there and mow grass. Okay? I'm going to give it to my landscaper. And guess who manages my landscaper? Can anyone take a wild guess? Sebastian. All right? There's levels to this where you start understanding that you're an executive assistant. Well, Sebastian booked my flight here. My Aunt Maria, who's based out of Queens, New York, actually had to book a flight to Orlando. She's going to go hang out with my parents. Sebastian booked her flight, sent the confirmation to me and Maria, went out of our way to literally get me set up when it comes to like the US Open, which we're going to this weekend. Like the entire process from reservations to medical appointments to everything, those are low hourly rate activities. When you have an EA, your life just changes completely and you start doing things that are the best use of your time. So everyone gets this right here. You can hire someone pretty soon, right? Cool. So both of these people get their grass cut. One person has better returns on their time. All right? And I just want you to kind of think to yourself, right now, a lot of you are cutting your own grass in your real estate business. That is the big aha, okay? How can we stop cutting grass? All right? So in order to escape the agent rat race cycle, you need to do the opposite of what the 99% of agents do. We need to delegate efficiently. What that means is working smarter, not harder. Everyone here is successful to an extent. You guys have all gotten to where you got up until this day through working hard. Working hard is necessary, but now it's okay to start working smart. I'm not talking about you guys having to go out there and learn AI and these crazy processes and all these crazy technology. I'm just talking about documenting what you're doing, creating a little file out of it, and then giving it to someone else, okay? So the top 1% are powered by staff, okay? What that means is they hire assistants, they delegate efficiently, they own a business. The other 99% are powered by stress. They work alone, they wear multiple hats, the business owns them. Your goal is to aspire to become the top 1%. And it's okay if you're in the bottom 99%. You can be making $400,000 or $500K a year and still be in the bottom 99%. What separates the top 1% and 99%, it's not income level, it's lifestyle. Okay, and if your goal is to go out there and spend more time with your family or your kids or going on vacation or doing what you love, then the goal is to delegate efficiently.
Yeah,
all right?
just grab that one.
Top agents are delegation masters. They have leverage in their business. They delegate smarter by hiring rockstar assistants so they can focus on income-producing activities. Their assistants solve problems or remove anything that is the best use of their time, and they are true business owners. I don't even consider them agents. I consider them agent CEOs. So why doesn't everyone hire an incredible assistant to help them scale their business to get back their time? Because if you hire anyone before you have systems in place, it leads to chaos. As mentioned, imagine me hiring 10 people today and I tell them, hey guys, go out there and fix my business. It'd be like the blind leading the blind. But if I hire one person and I give them my entire SOP library and I take the time to sit down with them and walk them through every single process, after about 2 weeks, they could go out there and do it at 80% as good as how I am. You may be thinking, but they're not doing it at 100% of I am. Doesn't matter. If they can do it at 80% of what you're doing it at, it is way better than you continue doing it by yourself. And at some point, within the next 3, 4, 5 months, they actually do it at 120% better than you. Why? Because it's the only thing they do. They'll actually become better at your job than you are. I promise you, Sebastian sees things in my emails I haven't checked in like, I don't know how many long. He organized it for me, he put it out of the way. It really kind of gets leveled up, all right? Building out every system from scratch to train them on is even more exhausting. So you guys are probably thinking, crap, I need a system for booking flights. I need a system for reservations. I need a system for listing appointments. I need a system for the MLS, the CRM. You guys are probably going like listing crazy, right? But the reality is we've solved that entire problem for you. Who here would like to build out 10, 15, 20, 50 systems by the end of the week? It took me about 7, 8 years to build out all my systems, which is why I created a software called Goldie, okay? And what Goldie does is it builds out your SOPs for you. Goldie's also hooked up to my entire SOP library. It's hooked up to every single SOP I've ever written in real estate, specific to growing a business from $0 to $1 million a year. It's also hooked up to all the interviews I've had with all these $1 million listing stars, the top agents in the world, the best CEOs. It's hooked up to my conference. The brain is basically one giant Jarvis from like Iron Man of real estate. And any single time you go onto this software and you ask it to build out an SOP for you, it pulls from this giant brain and it builds it out for you within seconds, okay? So the way it works is very simple. You log down all your tasks, okay? You go into Goldie, you write down everything you're doing. It's that simple. And when I tell you write down your tasks, I mean absolutely everything in your business. You don't leave any single stone left unturned. From there, you go out of your way to create an SOP, okay? And what's cool about this is instead of having this giant messy Google Drive with all these files and all these folders and it's not all organized, you now have an SOP library. My entire SOP library is organized. There's a cool thumbnail. I know who I can assign it to. There's a video in each one. I click on that SOP and that exact process is set in place. Why did I create this? Well, it's very simple. When I was onboarding someone, can you imagine how much of a nightmare it could be to have to retrain every single person SOP for every new client you have? I have close to 50 staffing clients and they all have a completely different way they run their business. So if I told them, go out there and train your assistant, it'd be the blind leading the blind. So what I had to do is create a system that builds their SOPs out for them within a week, and then I could take this and I'll actually train their assistant. It's a very thought out, intricate process that took me months and months to build, but now, like I said, it kind of does it in seconds. And then last but not least, it allows you to drag and drop between the Goldie zones. So instead of you identifying, well, where should I put this and all of that stuff, you guys have a mental model. It's very cool. It's just like these little boards. You drag and drop, and then you know exactly where you're at with that. All right? Last but not least is a cool little dashboard. It tells you how much time you're saving. The average agent with us is saving anywhere between 10 to 30 hours a week, which translates to tens of thousands of dollars a month. Sebastian, to this day, is still, I think he saves me 59 and a half hours a week. And at my hourly rate, that's tens of thousands of dollars a month that I'm saving. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little demo, and then I'm going to hand it back off to Michael. I'll show you how the entire software works. I just click play. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to walk you through this. I don't know if you can actually see this, but I'm going to go ahead and create a task in Goldie. The task that I'm going to be creating is a handwritten note campaign. I use handwritten notes to get a lot of listings. The description I'm giving it is sending out handwritten notes to local homeowners, asking them if they would be interested in selling their home. Pretty simple description, okay? I spend 3 hours a week doing this, so I put 3 hours. I set the frequency to weekly. The category for this would be marketing, and then I would go ahead and offload this. I don't want to do this anymore. Low value, add a task. Okay, so we have a task there. From there, I'm going to go out of my way to click on that task and click one button, and that button is create an SOP. And now what's happening is this is pulling into my entire library of SOPs from the last 7 years. It's extracting the format, it's extracting the style, it's extracting all the information of everything I put in there. And what ends up happening is in about 15 seconds, you have a full-blown SOP for that entire process. As you can see it right here, the summary, the entire procedure, the purpose and scope. And this is really, when I tell you it's very specific to handwritten note campaigns, it is exactly just for that. So that is the entire process that we've created. We've basically gone out of our way to automate the entire SOP process. And as a little gift for everyone kind of just coming here, I want to give you guys access to not just the software, but every single SOP I've ever written. I've created these into templates. It's as simple as you log into Goldie, you click the template, and now that SOP is yours. You guys have full licensing to all of my SOPs over the last, 7, 8 years. And if you guys ever go into the Goldie and you're like, hey, I love this, but I would love to go out of my way to have an SOP for this or for whatever, you could build it yourself or you could send it to us and we'll build it for you. But I genuinely want to make SOPs and systems simple. I want to make them fun so that you guys all have the ability to go out of your way to start scaling. One last thing before we sign off. If anyone is interested in learning more about this software, it's dirt cheap. It's $99 a month. And I'll do you guys a favor. If anyone signs up for the annual package, which is 50 cents on the dollar, which is $4.97 a year, I will throw in there every single course I've ever sold when it comes to my boot camps, my masterminds. I'm talking a 17-hour course I used to charge $8,000 for on how to get listings, how to do your listing presentation. My exact word-for-word script is in there. And not only that, I'm going to give you every single one of my templates for my real estate business. So you guys have two options at this point. You could attempt to go out of your way to basically build out your own SOPs, create these systems, identify the library, go out of your way to make sure that they actually work because we want to make sure that the SOPs are actually in compliance and they're doing all their thing. Or I could just give them to you. And like I said, it's $99 a month. There's no catch. It's month to month. But I truly wanted to give you guys something that would help you change your lives in business. So that's pretty much it. That's all I have. I kind of threw everything out the wall and gave you guys everything I have. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
So would you train somebody that might already position?
You can just literally give them a login to Goldie, and then they could go in there and you could have the entire process there. If you wanted my staffing team to do it, we do it as well. Yes. We take care of payroll for all of our assistants. Yes.
Hello? Any other questions? We'll run around.
We have a
It's hard to find a good assistant, that's.
Hold on one second.
It's hard to find a good assistant, that's half the problem, but the $18 an hour that you mentioned earlier, that's your great people, or,
Not the $18,000 an hour, $18,000 a year.
okay, so
Yeah.
that's very cheap.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So my staffing process. If anyone here has ever struggled to get an assistant, I've been staffing virtual assistants since 2020. Okay, I've gone through tens of thousands of applications. Our process is very simple. We get 150 applications a day. Okay, these are people from Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Egypt, the Philippines, all over. Okay, once we get those people in our system, we now do an entire phone interview process with each one of them to test them on their English skills, to test them on their past experience, to test them on their actual credibility. From there, we put them into a group interview stage. Out of 150 people, we're lucky if 15 actually get to the group interview. During the group interview, it's personality assessments. We're doing disc tests. We're doing behavioral things. We're trying to go out of our ways to really identify if they're going to be a good fit for you long term. And then from the 15, we get them down to 1 or 2 in a one-on-one interview. And then if they go through that process, we now put them through a 4-week real estate training bootcamp. By the time they get to you, they don't even know who they are at that point. It's kind of like the Navy SEAL team training sick. Yeah.
Listen, you guys have been here for a long time. I don't let anybody come in here and sell anything. Like, the honest truth is the reason why I wanted him to come and do this is because I've had so many questions over time about VAs and like what is my opinion on like what you should think about in terms of systems you should use and who you should consider, because there's so many different companies out there in regards to VAs. The woman that I'm working with right now is bilingual. She was a teacher in the United States. She currently lives in Colombia. The woman is like just like a ball of sunshine, but also like on it. She's just on it. Like she just gets it right from the start. And what I've realized is, in addition to her, his team behind the scenes is doing all the training. And what I would say is that it's not just for her, it's for me. Because every person in here, you don't realize it, you need to be trained on how to use a VA, just like the VA needs to be trained on how to work with you. And that's the part that I was actually like more impressed with. And don't get me wrong, I love who I was given. And the way it comes to you is in the form of you get like basically like video interviews of the person of a series of people that you could potentially hire. And then in addition to that, you get like their resumes attached to it, and then you have the ability to interview them yourself. So I went through a whole stack of different people that was sent to me. The person that I eventually hired was like a really nice fit for me personally, and I could tell you like we're off to a really great start. And having explored a lot of different VA companies several times over many years, there's nothing that I've seen that's come anywhere close to what Juan has put together, which is why I wanted you to come and speak to this. Yeah, sure.
And a lot of what sets us apart from everyone else is if you look at all the VA placement agencies, they usually just staff you with someone and say, figure it out. You have to pay them, you have to manage them, you have to train them, you have to coach them. You don't have time for that. I've been in your shoes. So we take care of all that stuff for you. We train them for you, we manage them for you, we continue to coach them for you. I give them therapy. Like I literally hired a therapist, and once a week they go into therapy. They have executive assistant coaching. We do the entire payroll. It really is hands off. So to answer your question, you are absolutely correct. It is extremely hard to find really good quality talent. We go out of our way to do that entire process for you. And like I said, we train them on real estate specific systems, whereas everyone else just trains them on random stuff. Yeah. If you sign up for this, someone from our team will call you and they'll do a free demo on the actual staffing process. And if you're not in a position right now to do the staffing, just this is the foundation that could help you scale. Okay? Yes. Yes. Oh, sorry.
Question. Hi, I'm Dejan, everyone.
Dejan, what's your Instagram?
Dejan Wilmore, New Jersey.
Go follow Dejan, please. Show him some love.
So, how can this benefit someone who like not just got their license, but just starting off like who want to scale and get to this level? Like, how would this package help out?
So right now you are stuck in generating leads. You're stuck in getting more clients. You want to close more deals, okay? And I tell every new agent, you have 12 months to close as many deals as possible to make as much money as possible before you fail out. What I mean by that is if you do this for a year and you don't get any results, you get bored, you start losing confidence, you quit. From year 2, if you haven't closed the deal, it's not going from there. So you need to be closing business, okay? I've put every single one of my SOPs in there. Preferred sub-by owners, expireds, cold calling, follow-up, Facebook ads, social media, business owners, anything from JVs with mortgage lenders to handwritten notes, direct mail campaigns. I have like 500 lead generation strategies you can get into. All I know is it's very simple if you have it documented and you have a little video for it. When you sign up for this, you get access to all of that. Like nothing against everyone else's like real estate coach, but like I'm literally giving you everything, and the only thing you have to go in there and do is just copy it. And if you copy it, the only way you can't get results is not doing it. That's simple. So if you're a brand new agent and you're thinking like I'm not ready to hire a delegate, that's fine. At least you can start just copying the systems that I use to get to 100, 200, 300, 400, 500K a year in GCI, and then from there you'll be ready to kind of scale. Does that answer your question? Cool. Yes.
Thank you for sharing everything. Okay, just to go back to the VA question.
Yes.
I know different companies train their folks
Yes.
on different tasks. Did you say that your VAs would be trained on everything from social media to cold calling to whatever tasks I need?
They're trained on things that you're currently doing. Okay, so we get a lot of people saying, hey, I'm not really cold calling right now. Can you hire someone to do cold calling for me? I'm like, no. Because if you're not doing it, that's probably not how you get your business. How do you get your business? Well, I create a lot of content on social media. Cool. That's what we're going to create an SOP for. And then we're going to hire someone to create content for you so that you can buy back your time. And then when you're not doing that activity, we'll do something else. So to answer your question, we could train them on anything. Anything from admin, personal sales, marketing, ads, design, marketing, media, calling, like you name it. but we'd rather identify what is it that you're doing. Can we build your systems? And then can we have someone come in there and buy back your time? If you get back 20, 30, 40 hours a week out of your week, you become superwoman. Like, it really will change your life. But if you hire someone to do things that you aren't doing, now you have more stress and someone to manage.
And you know, this is not even about your system in particular, but that book that Juan was talking about is Buy Back Your Time. I'm actually going to speak about that a little bit in my session as well. One of the things that he talked about is, like, if you figure out that let's just say you're making $100 an hour, the example that he gave is you should divide that number by 4, and that's what your number should be in terms of like the hourly wage you could pay to go out and hire. And the thought process behind it, I think, is really an intelligent one. Is if you have $100 an hour, like, hourly wage for yourself, if you're hiring somebody for 1/4 of that, and they're basically giving you back all that time, you then are essentially like multiplying the amount you could make, because you could go out and actually make more based on your skill set. And awesome book, absolutely awesome book. Every person in here should read it. It just makes you think differently about life. But it really, and by the way, I learned about this book from Juan, but...
We buy that book for every single one of our clients, and we not only make the client read it, we make their assistant read it. It's kind of like the Bible for delegation, and now they're both on the same page. So that's kind of... Yeah.
So we'll go one more question, and then we'll keep it moving to Cyrus. Anybody else? We got one back there.
The website is goldiemethod.com. That has the offer. I think the offer is till 2 p.m. today to get all the bonuses. I've sold those bonuses for so much money, and my past clients couldn't have found out. So it's why I'm kind of capping it off if you guys get the annual. If you guys are interested in the staffing, goldbarstaffing.com. You could book a call with Lauren. She'll walk you through our entire process. And then if anyone has any personal questions you want to ask me, Juan Goldbar, Juan, Goldbar on Instagram. Sebastian does run and manage the entire back end, but he organizes for me, and I actually do reply back myself. So happy to communicate with you guys there. Yes.
Can you elaborate on the annual subscription of $497 per year?
Yeah.
And what does the $14,000 give? Like,
So basically, if you do the $99 a month, you just get the software. Everything I just showed you right there, you can build out as many SOPs as you want. You can go out of your way to have the library, all of that stuff. If you get the annual, not only is it 50 cents in the dollar, but I'm going to throw in there every single course I have. Okay, so number 1 is a delegation bootcamp, which Michael has access to. I only give it to my private clients. The delegation bootcamp is a 3-hour mindset shift to walk you through the step-for-step process to become a better delegator and a better leader. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, I give you my 45-day listing bootcamp. It's 45 days to go out there and get as many listings as possible through methods that you probably haven't heard of before, like reverse prospecting, building up a buyer list, and then leveraging that buyer list to go to investors, mortgage lenders, and other people to go out of your way to get more clients. So I have like 5 or 6 methods that I've used, and I've done a lot of challenges, and I've took that entire challenge, I put it into a 45-day course, and the goal is to get 3, 4, 5, 6 listings in that 45 days. In addition, I have something called a Real Estate Freedom Bootcamp. If you guys scroll all the way to the bottom, you're gonna see all these testimonials. All those people paid me over $8,000. It was a 2-day mastermind. We completely broke down every single part of their business, from their brand to their CRM, to their listing prep, which is what you do before the listing presentation. I have a really cool idea where I get a gift box and I go out of my way to customize it for them, and I put some things inside of it. My entire listing pitch, from the greeting to the tour to the rapport building to the pitch itself to the close. And then we went out of our way to walk through the entire process when it comes to just everything. Lead generation, marketing, systems, all that stuff. That's an $8,000 course. I'm putting that in there included as well. And then the last thing is you guys getting access to a month's worth of coaching calls with my entire team to walk you through this entire software and building out your systems. So if you guys are thinking, wow, this is awesome, but I feel like I just consumed like a fire hose worth of information, you guys will have an additional month to speak with my team, and we really are extremely giving. We'll walk you through the entire process you have to do to kind of scale. So that's everything you get if you get the annual. If you just get the $99 a month, then you just kind of get the software.
All right, I appreciate you as always, Rob.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.